Okay, in this video we're going to quickly review how to solve one- and two-step equations. We'll start with one-step equations. In order to solve a one-step equation, all we're going to do is use the inverse operation of the one that appears in the problem to undo the operation that appears in the problem. So let's look at example A. We've got x minus 5 equals 7. So the operation that appears is subtraction. The inverse of that is addition. And so we're just going to undo this by adding 5 to both sides. And we go ahead and do that. We end up with x on the left, and 7 plus 5 gives us 12 on the right. All right, part B, x plus 6 equals 3. The operation that appears in the problem is addition. The inverse of addition is subtraction, so we're going to undo that by just subtracting that 6 from both sides. And that gives us x equals negative 3. Part C. We've got 4x equals 24. That's an implied multiplication, 4 times x. The inverse of multiplication is division. So we're going to just go ahead and divide both sides by 4. And 4x divided by 4 gives us x. And on the right-hand side, 24 divided by 4 gives us 6. So we end up with x equals 6. And in part D, our operation that appears in the problem is division. So we're going to use the inverse operation of division, which is multiplication. So we're going to take both sides here and multiply them by the negative 2. That leaves us with x on the left. And on the right, 8 times negative 2 gives us negative 16. Okay, one-step equations should be pretty simple for us, and that was a good quick review of how we handle them. All right. On to two-step equations. When we solve two-step equations, we're going to use inverse operations again. You see a big starred note here. It is highly recommended that we complete any addition or subtraction step first. I can show you the reason why that happens or why that's the best case, but just take that for what it's worth. It's best to undo the addition and subtraction first and then handle the other operation that's there. So we'll look at part A, 3x minus 2 equals negative 8. We're going to undo the subtraction using addition. And we've got 3x on the left-hand side. And on the right, we've got negative 8 plus 2, which is negative 6. And now we've got 3 times x, so to undo that, we use division. We'll divide both sides by 3. And we get x equals negative 2. And in part B, we're going to undo the addition subtraction step first. So we've got a subtraction minus 3. So we're going to add 3 to both sides. And we've got x over 4 equals 4. And now we want to undo the division by 4. To undo division, we multiply. So we multiply both sides by 4. We end up with x on the left and 16 on the right. All right. A few more examples here. Part C, negative 5x plus 7 equals 18. We'll do the subtraction step first. Get rid of the plus 7. Negative 5x equals 11. And then we'll divide both sides by negative 5. And we get x on the left. And on the right, we've got 11 divided by negative 5. So it's positive divided by a negative is going to be negative. And we can just go ahead and leave this as a fraction since the division doesn't come out evenly. Or if you chose, you could opt to write it as a decimal and actually do negative 11 over 5 and get that this was negative 2.2. A lot of your choice here depends on how comfortable you are with fractions or decimals. And also, if you're looking at a multiple choice question, the form of the answers. Are we seeing fractions or are we seeing decimals? And whichever one is appropriate, we'll go ahead and use that one. All right, now in part D, we want to undo that addition step first. So we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. And we've got x over negative 3 is equal to negative 8. That's negative 6 minus 2. And now to undo the division, we're going to multiply both sides by negative 3. And we end up with x on the left, and on the right, negative 8 times negative 3. Negative times a negative is a positive, and 8 times 3 gives us 24. And that was a quick review of how we solve 1- and 2-step equations. See you next time.